Hollywood Tower Hotel.
Mesdames et messieurs, vos chambres sont en prêt. Ladies and gentlemen, your rooms are ready now.
Welcome to a new video. This time we check in at a hotel inside the park. A mysterious event forces the closing of the famous Hollywood Tower Hotel. What was once the favorite hotel of the Hollywood elite is now only the shadow of itself. Since its reopening in 2008, for those brave enough to dare to walk inside, the infamous building has yet to tell all its secrets.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight.
Are you brave enough to go through the doors of the Hollywood Tower Hotel and enter the fourth dimension? In the gardens and lobby of the Hollywood Tower Hotel, time has stood still since that fateful night of October 31st, 1939, when a mysterious lightning bolt struck the facade and swiftly pushed passengers from one of the elevators to an uncertain destiny. The various objects present in the hall are still in the places they occupied at the time, hastily abandoned by their owners. As for the music, it still resounds like an echo of the past, as if it had never stopped.
Hollywood, 1939. Amid the glitz and the glitter of a bustling young movie town at the height of its golden age, the Hollywood Tower Hotel was a star in its own right, a beacon for the show business elite.
Welcome to the Hollywood Tower Hotel, a beacon for the show business elite. The lobby is decorated with antiques from European and American flea markets. The different clocks all say 8:05 p.m., the time at which lightning struck the hotel on October 31st, 1939.
Now, something is about to happen that will change all that.
More than 4,000 books line the library shelves. Disney Imagineers watched each of the 156 episodes of The Twilight Zone to capture the atmosphere and ambiance of the 1960s TV series.
The time is now, on an evening very much like the one we have just witnessed. Tonight's story on the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, as you may recognize, is a maintenance service elevator, still in operation, waiting for you. We invite you, if you dare, to step aboard, because in tonight's episode, you are the star, and this elevator travels directly to the Twilight Zone.
The three stories told about the fifth dimension are inspired by the episode Little Girl Lost. In the episode, a little girl fell off her bed and finds herself in another dimension. The elevator rises to more than 60 meters in height before falling 13 floors. When falling, you are literally pulled down faster than gravity itself.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
What a wonderful surprise, ladies and gentlemen!
Thanks to a unique mechanism, two elevators can share the same shaft. When guests are boarding one elevator, the other is taking its occupants to the Twilight Zone. The service elevators of the Hollywood Tower Hotel are not really dropped, but are actually pulled to the ground. This original system makes the lifts go down faster than gravity and make our guests feel as if they are flying. The design of the Hollywood Tower Hotel is inspired by the Pueblo Deco style, very popular in the 1920s when the hotel was built. The style is at the meeting point of Art Deco, with its pronounced geographic shapes and Southwestern Native American art. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror can be found in many Disney parks around the world. However, it never looks the same. The attraction opened at Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World in Florida in 1994, and its architecture is based on the Spanish colonial revival style. At Tokyo Disney Sea, the hotel is constructed following the Moorish revival architecture style. The system was designed by the Otis Elevator Company, and it uses two giant induction motors to accelerate riders up and down, reaching a maximum speed of about 63 kilometers per hour. One motor is positioned above each elevator shaft in a mechanical room at the top of the tower, and each one weighs nearly 60 metric tons. Each motor is connected to two cable drums in series, and there is one solenoid brake on the end of each drum for a total of 4 brakes per elevator. Two steel cables are wound onto the first drum, and these extend down through the floor where they connect to the top of the elevator car, which travels along rails that are fixed to the walls of the shaft.
Je ne vous vois plus. Évitez de vous perdre dans cette dimension. I can't see you. Don't get lost in this dimension.
Chalk markings can be found on the boiler room walls. If you listen carefully, you might hear the call of a little girl lost in another dimension. Contrary to its appearance, the Hollywood Tower Hotel Garden is far from abandoned. Plants have been carefully handpicked by Walt Disney Imagineers and then were grown to look like nature was reclaiming its place, following the abandoning of the hotel in 1939. The attraction uses 3 of the biggest motors ever used for such a conveyance. They are 3 times as big as motors used for high-speed elevators. More than 5,000 props fill the attraction. Imagineers went to many flea markets and thrift shops through California and Europe to find period-appropriate objects. Many of them are references to the Twilight Zone, such as broken spectacles, a trumpet, or a miniature spaceman, details that a fan of the show will not fail to notice. From the start, storytelling has been central to the success of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. The whole idea of the attraction was to place guests into the storyline of an episode of the series. In the library scene, guests would learn the backstory of what happened so many years ago, then be invited to board those same service elevators to cross over into the Twilight Zone themselves. Now, Imagineers have expanded the storyline with a new story thread and ride sequences that offer more chills and thrills for this classic attraction. And this special edition of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is unique to Disneyland Paris.
The story of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror really begins on the outside. You can tell that something mysterious happened at this hotel. And once you come inside, you learn what truly happened on that night. That lightning struck this hotel and transported a series of guests who were in an elevator into the Twilight Zone.
It is based on a true architectural style for Southern California. It's called Pueblo Deco. And Pueblo is quite rightly so, the Indian nation. And it is really inspired from that particular section of the southwestern United States. You think of adobe structures, you think of American Indian influences, and it's also combined with deco. And what that means is it's the design style that took place in the mid-30s to mid-40s.
This is not an elevator, this is a ride system, and we specifically avoid the E word. It's a VVC, a vertical vehicle conveyance.
The first cast members are in at 6:30 a.m. for a team briefing inside the attraction before starting their day at the Hollywood Tower Hotel. After receiving instructions from their team leader, the 7 cast members present head to the control center to begin the procedures for opening the attraction. They will be quickly joined by other colleagues in the morning. A minimum of 7 cast members is required for the attraction to function properly. Everyone knows their position and makes their way there to carry out checks and make any adjustments for operating the attraction, which only opens at 8:30 a.m. to the public, with a checklist ready as every detail counts. Safety of the visitors within the attraction is the priority, so the cast members go up and down several floors of the tower to ensure the proper functioning of equipment and show elements. From the control center, Allison and her trainer Mark assist their colleagues with their checks and start up the equipment. Meanwhile, another colleague inspects the outside of the attraction to check the different accesses and the good functioning of the show.
Next time, you might not make it back.
doors that look like these ones close, and the operator's gone now. The guests are on their own in an elevator cab, and they begin to move backwards.
Par une nuit d'orage il y a fort longtemps, 5 personnes passèrent les portes d'un ascenseur pour vivre un cauchemar. L'orage est maintenant de retour et les portes s'entr'ouvrent à nouveau. Mais cette fois-ci, elles s'ouvrent pour vous.
La prochaine fois, vous ne vous en sortirez peut-être pas. Next time, you might not make it back.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez récupérer vos effets personnels et sortir prudemment de l'ascenseur. Et nous espérons que votre séjour au Hollywood Tower Hotel aura été agréable.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to stay updated with more content like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for your support.